Hey everybody, it's your boy Dre, and yes, I am the Geek Dad, and this is my thank you to everybody because we finally hit the magical number of 200 subscribers. Was I going to do something along the long galaxy far, far away? Was going to do something for that, but that's not happening anymore because I don't feel like I have to reward people for doing something that I was working on, which sounds really weird, I know, but I'd rather reward like at 500 when we hit a bigger milestone. And that's the next road trip that we're on. So we're at 203 subscribers. So if you guys want to, you've never subscribed to this channel, definitely like, subscribe, comment, do all the fun stuff. You know, always smash that. Look at that. Yeah, exactly. On the 3. I'm on the 5, Dave. I'm on the 5. But I wanted to take a quick second to just jump on here and thank you guys for the love, the support in the community that we do have. A lot of people have reached out to me and like thanked me. You know, my cousin, big shout out to my cousin Jovan. I love you, brother. You know, hopefully I'll be getting to see you in the fall or actually in Christmas time this year if you are still in Orlando or actually in Tampa where you live, and then you can come up to Orlando to visit. Hopefully we can do that. But I kind of wanted everybody to get a view of the hot toys because people keep telling me, Dre, I can never see all your cool hot toys. Well, I put them all up except for Urameshi. He is going to go, I think, either here or there on this shelf. I haven't figured it out yet. But I just kind of wanted to, again, just say thank you. I have been thinking about this live for a bit today, and the biggest thing was to say thanks. The other thing to talk about was what I'm hearing in the rumblings of the toy community. A lot of people in the toy community are coming around and saying, you know, what is going to happen with the state of collecting as of now going forward into the remainder of the year. Obviously, as of today, there are tariffs that have been imposed upon us. We did see that several pre-order figures and toys are now getting price hikes. I do know that some stores are honoring and grandfathering us in some of the pre-order prices that we were able to get before. But if you did not, now it's going to be a $5 increase. And sadly, we're seeing a lot of places raise their prices. We actually had a loose box company. They were making some really cool figures. They had to shut down due to the tariffs because they didn't want to make it feel unfair to the fans after they just opened their Kickstarter. And I was saying this to Oz and the other members of the clubhouse and their toy chat, and just in my own friends that have texted me, and we've talked about it briefly. A lot of people are noticing or feeling like there's going to be a trend switch. I feel like this summer it's going to be more of the trend, what we're going to see hitting us, and it may be a little scary. You know, I think, to borrow my friend Black Gengus's comment that he and I were talking earlier, we're in a Great Depression. Like, we're in this Great Depression. Like, people may not believe it. I mean, we are. Prices are going up. Things are getting to a place where it's too expensive. A lot of people are making cutbacks, you know, on just even the basic necessities, you know, of things. And it's ridiculous on a lot of levels. But collecting is a hobby, and we all enjoy this hobby. And, you know, is it crazy to think that last year I was able to pick up a lot of these figures? Yes. Is it crazy to think that I might not be picking up any of my figures this year? You know, will I be able to get the hot toys that I'm pre-ordered from Toyco? I hope so. Andrew has kind of been awesome on I've been talking to him a lot lately, and Toyco is sponsoring us for the Ride for Roswell. They're going to be giving us a figure, NSH Figuarts from Demon Slayer. That's going to be going up, so look forward to that. But I've been talking to him, and he's willing, and he has told me he is willing to eat some of these tariff costs to try to keep costs low. And he's a private business. So I'm going to stay supporting him. And I notice a lot of people Allison has been saying it. Oz was saying it, myself. We're going to have to rally together to try to support these smaller companies and businesses, because the mom and pops and specialty places, they'll close and we won't have a place to go get our figures at. And, you know, it's like, is it scary to think that maybe places like Four Horsemen, you know, will have to raise their prices, or any other local places here? You know, what about people that are working on projects? What's going to be that? Are we going to see another supply chain issue because of, you know, like we saw back during, you know, pandemic era? You know, we're only 5 years removed from that issue when that occurred. And, you know, my toddler was born in that. She doesn't know anything about that supply chain issue. I did. And it was like that was like where the advent of toy collecting. And there's a lot of people that are in the community now actively saying, oh, I'm not worried, you know, vintage will go up in price, you know. And I'm actually going to take a pause here. So I'm going to I'm going to write what Dave said, because Dave's, you know, I love Dave. He's trying to hit me with my history. So the first depression was 1929, 1939. Yep, that's correct. It actually kind of went a little bit earlier than that, like it happened a couple years prior. It was 1929 was actually when we had the big crash, and that's when everything occurred. And then obviously 39, towards the end of that, we go into World War II. So he's correct. And he says, so time-wise, that makes sense. New millennium depression is here. I don't like politics, but we all can see where this is originating from. It is, and I'm not trying to be, you know, a Trumper that's going to sit here and start, you know, touting everything that he does wrong. And, you know, that's not this channel. It's never been this channel. But after talking with Black Angus for a good while today, shout out to him, because he's going to be coming on our live stream to support us when we do Ride for Roswell, that 24-hour live stream. Shout out to everybody that's actually signed up and has offered to participate. Big shout out to Mega J Retro for helping me and Dave get some more sponsors, as well as some more people to kind of jump in and help out. I do appreciate that as well. Again, if you guys are interested in working with us, just reach out to me, reach out to Dave. You guys know our IG handles. Just definitely get out to us. Dave did post a video today on his private channel, Dave's _dimensions. Definitely check that video out. It does give you some really solid information. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag yet on something. I did reach out to a major company today. Dave knows who I reached out to. Once I hopefully hear back, we'll see what that can yield. I did send a lot of information, so we'll see. But back to the topic at hand, you know, there's a lot of people in the toy community that are now looking to exit the community. I've been noticing that trend. I know the algorithm. Thanks, Dave, for posting your video in the section here. That's awesome. Definitely want to support you and support us on what we're doing with that. But there's been an exit lately. I have noticed the trend for seeing people want to leave the community a lot recently. I know I say this with a big stack of toys behind me, and mind you, this is stuff I've had for the last couple of years since we moved into the new house, that I've been able to actually put stuff up and display stuff. It has me now thinking to not get rid of my stuff so quickly, because of the fact that there is a deficit, and that there might be a reason to hold on to some stuff now, because if everything's trending the way it's trending, it might be a little bit easier to hold on to some of my figures, and we may end up having another pandemic era situation where people are looking more to eBay, Mercari, Encore, and all those other new WhatsApp and all that, or not WhatsApp, whatnot, you know, and using all those platforms to try to sell things. I mean, mom and pops, you know, we here in North Carolina, we have swap meets every month. They go from the East Coast of North Carolina to the west, to where I live in the western side of the state, you know, and the southern side of the state. We get them a lot. Shout out to IshCon, actually, that will be coming through here in May in Raleigh, Durham area. If you're in the Tri-Cities area, which is coastal Carolina side, if you guys are definitely interested, Ish is a very good dude. I actually love Ish. I've met him, met a lot of his friends, Abi. If you guys follow Abi on the Figure Fight Club, Ryan, and a lot of those guys have always been very big supporters of mine. And I've been big supporters of theirs. They're big Mythic Legions. And I know Four Horsemen is looking to have a very big presence at IshCon. So if you are going to be here in mid-May, definitely show up for that. I'll try to get those links in the comments below when I edit the video later on tomorrow. Dave has actually been very active, and I love it. And I want to focus on what he says. It's a scary time, definitely a time of reflection and evaluation, stepping back, refocusing one or two lines, maybe even crafting more. 3D printing, wink, wink. Yeah, I know. I love what you got coming from me. But I think that's what we're going to see. I think we're going to see the advent of people looking to purchase filament and 3D printers and doing a lot of this stuff themselves. It's sad because I was hopeful that this kind of trend was going to go back to normal and that we would just see kind of prices scale up upward a little bit. But I mean, that price jump for the black costume Spider-Man, if anybody pre-ordered him, I pre-ordered him through Big Bad Toys because it was a $2 price difference between going through Big Bad Toys or going through Hasbro. Amazon sold out of him, and Amazon was selling him for $39.99. It was going to be $41 or $43, with the tax, right? Depending on your state. And I went to Big Bad Toys. He was $34.99. When I went to Hasbro, he's $29.99. And I agree. Why is he so expensive? He's only coming with, it's the figure with 2 sets of hands. No Build-A-Figure, no nothing. But then people don't realize we're now in that time that Mafex is going to go up. 3-0 is going to go up. Enterbay, Hot Toys, Sideshow, Iron Studios. I can go down the list. I mean, there's a list that's floating around the internet that was put out in every major toy community. I think I've seen it in many. I actually posted the list of what tariffs for what countries are being affected and what companies are in those countries being affected by that. And it was actually very scary because a lot of people are saying, well, Mafex is not going to, is Mafex affected? Is CT Toys going to be affected? What's going to happen with bootlegs? What are we going to see with eBay? I mean, I think we're only looking at this from you have to look at this from a different perspective. Everybody's freaking out and it's day one. Let's see how things regulate out. Let's see if these companies are going to offer any incentives. Who knows if Metacom decides to open up their website to international sellers and, maybe cuts us the deal. Ami Ami is a very big Japanese distributor of toys and they do a lot of stuff out of Asia. Are they going to be affected? I mean, as a guy who collects many lines that are from overseas, including Hot Toys, we have to really evaluate and think what's going to be the next steps. I do see a trend downward. I do see a lot of people, and I think, again, I'm remembering my conversation with Allison and everybody in the group chat earlier. I think it's going to be a trend where we're going to see people focusing exactly on 1 or 2 lines, and that's it. And I don't think we're going to see much more than that. I think we're going to see a lot of people trying to purge the hobby. As usually you do, you see people make a mass exodus. They get scared. They're going to run out and sell all their crap. And that's fine. Do what you do. I really don't care. You're grown and do what you want. But I do expect to see that trend occurring. And it started today. Like, people were saying, well, I'm dropping the hobby. F this, is too expensive. And, we just had the price 5 years ago because things were trending to be more expensive. And you're right. Look at the price of eggs. 6 eggs will cost you $5 here in North Carolina. Eggs in other states will run you like $10 for a dozen. If the price of eggs that used to be $2 and toys are jumping up to $40 for a regular. I'm sorry, when a Marvel Legend, I'm gonna grab one that is really cool, but I'm gonna grab it. When Nightcrawler, a $24.99 Marvel Legend that came with a Build-A-Figure piece, costs as much as a Toylanta exclusive Monster Force translucent Dracula figure from last year, that's ridiculous. When a $40 figure is the same price as a regular figure that retail stores are going to carry, you guys thought RossCon and all this stuff that we're going to see where people are running to Ross's and grabbing their figures, you think that's going to happen now? If you waited before, shit ain't going to make it to the stores. You know? Shit ain't going to make it to stores if you ain't buying it. They're already saying that. Like, look at everybody's going online to buy stuff. So imagine if you're not buying it online now, the shit's coming from the big box stores almost a year later. Yeah, you can wait if you want, but then who does that help? You know? And I want to see Dave just posted something interesting. He says, or will the tariffs revert? I wish, but honestly, can you see even if the tariffs went away, would toys revert to their previous prices? No, they won't. I mean, it's already that's been an argument I had with one of my friends who actually works in the shipping industry. He works for High End, that works for like major companies like shipping like worldwide. And he was saying that if you thought 4 years ago, when in 2020, when we had all the major shipping issues and prices went up $5 and people complained then, it's been 5 years and we're seeing another price increase. So figures that were used to be $19.99 are now $30. Now that's not tax, that's not anything else. And that's if you go to a retail store. Imagine the increase we're going to see and the changes that are going to happen by the summer. Now, we do have 2 lines. I know Marvel has their retro card line. I think I pre-ordered it through Amazon, and I might cancel a few of them because, again, pricing. But we have the Ultimate Iron Man, Rom, Adam Warlock, Dakin, and Miles Morales retro cards. Those ship this month. And some people said if they'd seen them in specialty stores. So those are now, let me see if Amazon has updated the price on them. Nope. Because they were still, I guess, prior, they're still $24.99. So you can still get the Miles Morales, the ROM, and those retro cards for $24.99. Now, are we going to see things change like NECA, where NECA went from $29.99, $34.99 to now $40? I don't know. You might see NECA jump up to $45. It says toy companies are going to make less and less quantities of those disposable income, won't sweat it. Yeah, and that's true. And somebody made a comment. I was watching these 2 guys on IG that made a joke about Four Horsemen. They were talking about the dragon. And they were like, man, what do those guys do? Like, what do the collectors in the Mythic Legions community collect? Like, because those figures are expensive. Now, granted, I defend the Mythic Legions. I have Mythic Legions right here. So I'm not going to deny that they are an expensive figure, but they're a quality figure. They're what we would call in the community a boutique figure, because Mondo's considered a boutique figure. Hot Toys are considered boutique figures because they fetch a high price. They are exclusive and they are limited in their numbers. So do I see that being the trend? Yes, I do. I see them. I can guarantee you I see those prices jumping. And when I hear about Mythic Legions, and I know that they're expensive in and of themselves, and their price points are $49.99 for a figure, but they do come with modular abilities and pop and swap and weapons, and they're very a lot of people are very great in the customization community for that line. But Marvel Legends is not anymore, especially now that you have the Maximum line, which people are complaining about. I'm not going to get into that. I've seen all the YouTubers that have blown up the Maximum line. Do I want that Hulk? Hell yes, I do. I will get the Hulk and I'll be happy with it because I like Hulk. You know, did I pre-order Maximum Spider-Man? Yes, I did. I pre-ordered Maximum Spider-Man. I want to see it. I want to have it in hand and see if it's as good as Renew Your Vows. If it's not, then I will return the damn figure because I don't need to spend $50. But again, if I spend the $50 and I pre-order it and I like it, I'll keep it. But we'll see. You know, there's a lot of things that people are like tearing out. And some people have made fun of me for myself. They're like, oh, Dre, you're just a high-end collector. Yes, I am. I will accept that. I collect high-end toys, but I choose to do that. I choose to invest my funds into figures that I like. I don't do 3 3/4 Joes, and those are vintage, and those cost as much as a modern figure. I don't just do modern. I do mix media. I do collect a couple of different companies, you know? So, again, and Dave knows me, and y'all have heard me say it plenty of times on this channel, quality over quantity. I would rather pay for a bomb-ass looking figure, and if he happens to be $24.99, awesome. If it happens to be, and I just happen to have a Figma here, if it happens to be $75, I will pay for it. If I had my Mayfix here, if I had $100 figure, you know, again, it all comes down to your choices and what you collect. I've never been one to shit on people for collecting what they collect. Do what you want. But just realize that I think we're all brothers and sisters that collect. We're going to be collectively bitching about this for the next, for however long this is going to be. And I'm going to be honest. I don't know if this channel is going to be doing much more talking about toys. Like, I may not, because, you know, but I'm going to mention this too. I agree. It's value. It does also come down to value. You're 100% right. I think mentally at this point, maybe my channel may switch. My content will switch. I've been doing less toys and more conceptual content, and talking about cartoons and talking about culture and stuff. And I think that's where this channel may go down. I'm the geek dad. I'm going to still collect toys and stuff until they get too expensive. Then I will stop. Much like I did comic books. I love comic books, and I've jumped out because it's just too damn expensive. You know, Diamond had risen their prices. The individual companies rose. I now wait till they come out in a graphic novel for $15 and I read them. So, do I miss it? Yes. But, I love this right here. Mirage, love you, Mirage. He says, being an Asian, I fit the stereotype of being picky when it comes to pricing. That's funny. I mean, I'm Puerto Rican, dude. Listen, I grew up where I didn't have all this. And when I had it and I lost it and I got it back as an adult and then lost it again, to me, this stuff doesn't hold an intrinsic value. Past that, if I had to sell it, I can make my money back. You know, to me, it's the memories of being an adult and a collector and enjoying the community. And I think that that's what we need to revert back to. Am I saying that I'm hearkening everybody in the community, let's get together and band together? We can, but it's not going to make a damn bit of difference. Hasbro's going to do what they're going to do. WotC's going to do what they're going to do. You know, all the companies will do what they choose to, because at the bottom line, they're a company. And for us, we can band together, petition, complain, but it's not worth a fart in a spacesuit, as my old grad school professor used to say, because we can bitch and moan, but what are we complaining about? Oh, I don't want to pay. Then don't pay it. I mean, like, I'm going to throw this out there to the people that are going to bitch and moan about this. I'm not bitching and moaning. I'm making you aware. Why? Because I feel like a lot of people are talking about something, but much like Archer, they're not doing the research. Archer does the research, and I give him tons of credit. Go on Yahoo Finance. You can watch the head of Hasbro talk about how the U.S. could not create the internal infrastructure that's already pre-laid out in Southeast Asia. It would take 5 to 10 years to create that, and they don't think they could. Just think about that. Hasbro, the largest company here that they make toys in North Carolina, where I live. They make toys in Massachusetts. They don't do everything else. Mattel, I don't even know where they make their toys at. Probably overseas. If not, Mexico would be the next spot I would think of. I know. What's up, Joseph? Been a long time. Um, you know, let me see what Dave's saying here. Perspective: will the price increase be only here in the U.S. or will it spread around the world? I tend to think companies will increase no matter where you are. It's going to be a worldwide thing because it all goes based on the value of the dollar. We look at it from the perspective of the dollar, right? So companies, a lot of companies here. I think of people like Lago, who's in the clubhouse. He's an American expat that lives in a foreign country, and for him to get stuff, he has to get it shipped, and the shipping costs were already exorbitant. Imagine what it would be like to try to ship him an item now that the price has risen. You'd have to like almost it'd be ridiculous. And then Mega J, who lives in Canada, Canada's already turned away American goods, American products. There's whole tariffs about that. Again, watch the news. So before people start ranting and raving and trusting all these random YouTubers that and IG influencers and everybody that are saying like repent, just do the math. Listen to what people are saying. Basic costs of living have gone up. If the basic costs of living have gone up, do you not think your hobby is going to go up? There's less and less attendance at sporting events because people don't have the excess income. There's less and less travel to theme parks and places around the world. Why? Because money is hard. People are stressing to make a living, a basic living at that. So, it's a lot. I want people to kind of have that perspective. And I want to see what Joseph Grohl says. Have you been going live? Because I don't. No, sir, I have not been going live. This is the first time I've gone live in about a month. My work schedule has been crazy, and Dave and I do go live on Fridays, but not on this channel, on the Outer Dimensions podcast. This Friday, we're actually off. It's our off day. So that's why I decided to jump on now. I had a little bit of energy. I had my coffee. I got off work. I was having a crappy day at work, and it was just like I needed to talk toys. And this kind of has been sitting on my head because so many people were talking about it. My wife and I talked about it. And my wife's not into toys, but we talked about books because she reads books. And we were like, the cost of books are going up because books are not printed always here in the U.S. Random House, Penguin, they all print overseas. So, nice. You finally got an internet and PS5. Well, Joseph, you got to message me on IG. I'll send you my PlayStation name so that way you could join up and we can play together. And of course, dude, I listen, message me when you can. It was great to see you as briefly as it was. I listen, brother, it's always good to see you, man. Love you. You've been a long time supporter of the channel. And I appreciate you and it means a lot. Means a lot. Exactly. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. So again, I wanted to just raise awareness about what's going on. I feel like we all get this skewed, angry view of the world, and we start jumping at these like fake news, or we jump at things. Honestly, just if you don't have the excess income, don't spend the money. And if you are spending your money, nobody's going to tell you what to do. You're a grown-ass adult. We're big kids. Do what the fuck you want with your money. I don't care. Honestly, and it's not saying that in a derogatory way to anybody else. It's just, I feel like people are like, well, I'm going to be mad. Well, be mad. But I just think that we need to have a different view on what's going to happen and to educate ourselves on what's coming. Because if we thought things were getting expensive, things are. And it's getting more and more and more expensive. And with these tariffs, that's going to mean food prices will go up. That means gas prices could potentially go up. So, yes. And again, I heard about that. I'm not a political channel by no means or stretch. I have heard about this. My wife and I, again, talked about this too. I'm not going to feed into it. We'll see what happens. And if the stimulus is to stimulate the economy, People want to buy Hot Toys. People want to. I'm going to guarantee you that money will go in buying groceries because people need to eat. As much as I love this stuff, if I ever needed to turn around and sell it, it's gone to feed my family first. So, as much as I love toys, I can get rid of them. There's only 2 figures I would keep. And they're not even displayed here. They're displayed on the other side of the office. So, do I expect to see people complaining? Yes. Do I expect to see people more? I think the fear mongering and the influencers are going out there saying things. Just educate yourself. It's a lot going on in the world. Just, it doesn't hurt to listen to a few good people. Read about the tariffs. Look at what you collect. If it gets expensive, too much out of the range, stop collecting the line temporarily, or, see if there's other avenues to get the figure. Big Bad Toys is going to make their money however they have to, yeah, Dave, I know stimulus checks. Yeah, we've done it before for medical needs, family needs. I'm not even going to get into it. We have a lot of stuff going on in our house here. Not negative for me and my family, but negative in other parts of our family life that we're trying to work with. Exactly. And at the end of the day, what do we do this for? We do this for escape. This is like our fun time, right? So I'm not going to sit and harp on the negative and say, oh my goodness, what are we doing? Why? But I do want you guys to think about it this way. Things are bad right now, but we came out of the pandemic fine. Things are got bad a few months ago, and we're still here. We just have to ride. We have to ride it out and figure out what we're going to do. So I just want to say that. Now I'm looking at what Mirage says. He says, to me, while I don't really like the Maximum series, for example, and can talk about it all day, I don't plan to get it. And if someone wants them, that's their choice. Exactly. I feel like, if I had the SH Figuarts, I just put them back in the office closet there. The Maximum line is Marvel's attempt at making, Ultimate figures. I would say like WWE's Ultimate line, and that's fine. I know, me keeping it real. The hell you say? I always keep it a buck. But I mean, honestly, when you think about it, it's like if you can't afford it, and I do have an SH Figuarts here. I'll use this one. This is the one that you could win. Not this one particularly, because this is mine. I bought this with my own money, but Toyco is going to be donating and sponsoring us one of these to anybody who donates to the Ride for Roswell. So it's a dope ass figure. I am going to be unboxing him and putting him up on the shelf soon. But yeah, if you like Demon Slayer, Tanjiro Kamodo, if you guys like it, definitely a good figure. The Netsuko is like freaking impossible to find now. I'm kicking myself, but it's a good figure. If you don't have the money to spend on this, then don't spend it. If you don't want to buy the Maximum line because you don't like it, don't get it. I just love the arguments people get into these days. It's such an interesting thing. I also plan to get this anime figure, but I got to save, especially for the SH Figuarts that you. I know what you're saving up for. If you're saving up for any of the cool new Gov SH Figuarts, they look freaking awesome. I need the Viram, the Frappe one that they just put up on Bandai Premium. That looks awesome. But I could always wait, even if it takes weeks, months, days, or even years. Look, I waited for, these 2 Hot Toys. I literally waited 5.5 years to get them. I'm putting that out there. It's not outside of the realm of possibility that people have to wait. Dave, let me see what you said here. Hot take. Maxim is just that, a hot take attempt at NECA quality accessories or Mafex, but nowhere near the quality. And that's true. I think the Maximum line is just that. I think the Maximum line is a attempt at going the route of SH Figuarts with a little bit more accessories. You know, you may get an extra couple of hands. Like that Hulk. That Hulk looks awesome. That size, I guarantee you, is going to probably be a $90 figure. If it's not with the current rate of inflation and things going on, I'm guaranteeing you it's going to be an expensive figure. And I'm only getting Spider-Man right now because I want to see that. And if it's a good figure, then it's a good figure, and I'll give it its flowers. If it's a bad figure, it's a bad figure, and I'll tell you what I think. Mirage, what do you say? He says, no, I'll save the gob stuff to save Amandarake. I'm more planning for Ryuki looks good. The Sincho Ryuki that they're releasing this summer looks awesome. And I see that Joseph says I'm saving up for a Nintendo Switch. I know that it's lame, but I don't spend my money on sports cars anymore or toys or anything. And that's fine. I mean, the Switch 2, I'm actually going to be passing on the Switch 2. I decided a long time ago that the Switch 2 was when I shouldn't say a long time ago. I decided like yesterday, when I was talking to my little brother, he and I were actually considering getting one because we were going to file share like we do on PlayStation. And then we saw the price point, and then we saw that the cards now are not cards. They're basically, you're buying like card licenses. So the Switch little mini discs that we were given on the Switch 2 are basically premium unlocking devices to let us access and download the content. So you're not even downloading the game from the disc. You're downloading a feature from the disc, which I think is asinine. And the fact that the Switch 2 games are going to be now $80 for a regular version of a game, and then $90 to get a hard copy. I mean, Nintendo, I don't know what you're thinking. And then the price point went up from $390. What was it? I paid for my OLED. What was it? The OLED I bought for $349 when it was released, and now they're charging $449 for a base Switch. Yeah, granted, it's going to have a couple cool accessories, and I've seen that IGN was throwing out all the cool Nintendo peripherals they're going to put out. I think that's cool, but I'm going to tell you now, don't kick rocks with that shit. I'm not going to buy it. I probably will wait till the Switch 2 does its version of the OLED and gets a different, larger screen, and the price goes down a little bit more. Because, I barely touch my Switch to begin with now. I have a bunch of good games now, and I don't. Yeah, Pokemon didn't play well on it, and I know Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild did not run well on it, and they're going to do fixes. But again, is it worth it for me to go drop the money on doing that again? It's not worth it. So, that again, this is just me, Saber for $50. Look, I wish Kamen Rider. I have to get him from Blade. Let me see. Yeah, it is cheesy, dude. And I'm not trying to burst your bubble, but they're trying to do like PlayStation 5 prices for Switch cost, and I'm just not with it. I feel like I'm going to harken back to older consoles. Like I said, I have my Switch literally docked right next to my PS5, and I haven't turned my Switch on in 5 months. And I used to play Animal Crossing all the time. And I played Paper Mario. And I haven't touched it in months. So you're going to go PS5 prices. Like they said, you're going to charge $80 for a game that's a digital. You're going to buy the game digital. And you're going to charge $90 for the hard copy. I mean, it's a 50% increase. Think about that mathematically. You're charging 50% more for nothing new. No added extras. It's just the game being programmed. As much as I love Mario Brothers, as much as I love Mario Kart, I don't give a shit about that. And I'm not spending the money on the Switch 2. That is a hard pass. Hard pass. I will buy a PS6 before I buy a Switch 2. Hot take. I like that. I play Mario Kart Classic. I have a Nintendo Classic, the little mini Nintendo. I bought my wife and the kids that they wanted that. I bought it for them. They have it. We have a classic. We have a PS4 in the living room and then Nintendo Mini. And then I got my Switch and the PS5 in the office. I don't need to game anymore. Like I own 13 Switch games and don't play them. And I have them because I was mentally preparing for the Switch 2, and I said, holy shit, this is why. So yeah, you might. I'm not telling you to hold off, Joseph. I'm telling you to buyer beware. Get a Switch when the Switch 2 comes out. Nintendo will drop the price of the regular Switch. The regular Switch will drop in price significantly. Buy a regular Switch then, and I guarantee you that will drive up Switch sales and get you a regular Switch. And then wait for the second model. Wait 6 months to a year, and I guarantee you by next year, you'll hear them say, oh, the Switch 2 Plus, the Switch 2 OLED version, the Switch 2 something. It'll be something with the new version, larger screen, same price. Just wait. I guarantee you. You know? I'm past on getting consoles. With most games I'm interested in being on PC. Exactly. And what's this one here? The current Switch is already down to $250 through Walmart. So you can get yourself a brand new Switch for $250 at Walmart. That's crazy. I barely even use my PS4 Slim. I'd play more games on it if the storage didn't suck. Yeah, I mean, I have like a 2 terabyte drive on mine in the living room. I don't use it. Like I said, it's mostly for the apps because we use it for like Netflix and for Disney Plus and for streaming services and for a Blu-ray player for the kids. I barely even touch that. And the PS5 has got a disc drive on it. And I bought that because I wanted the 4K upgrade. So it's, you know what, like get you a regular Switch and you'll be happy. I think that that's ultimately what a lot of people are doing. And a lot of people don't really play games anymore. Like I can't honestly think of how many people I know, like besides me playing Marvel Rivals, a lot of people have gone to the retro gaming side and they mod. You can get modded consoles. Yeah, I know, Dave, PC Master Race, but you still have a PS5 in your house, so don't talk shit. You have a PS5 and a PC. You know, exactly. You have a PS5 for some games. But again, I want people to feel more educated. I feel like we get so like, and I'm gonna repeat myself on this. I feel like we get so angry and tied up in this bullshit, the muck and the grime of like hearing all these influencers tell us what to think and how to think. I think we bypass a lot of this bullshit and we don't really look at it from the perspective of why. Like, why are we getting so angry? You know, we know what the price is going up. We know that this is happening. You know, I figured you played 2K5, 2K25. I'm not buying 2K25. I was about to get it, and my brother, my little brother and I, we file share. He opted to not buy it because the island doesn't work. So we can't link up on the island. I said, I'm not paying $100 to not be. I'm a WWE nerd too, bro. All day. Penta, cero miedo, bro. But I'm not willing to invest my money into that. That's just me. You know, I will play Marvel Rivals. I will play when Dave drags me on to play Fortnite. I'll play Fortnite. You know, I have a plethora of games in my library that I have not even touched. Alan Wake, Black Myth Wukong. Jesus, what the hell else? Not to mention Suikoden and Animal Crossing and all that other shit. I haven't touched a lot of games. So I have a lot. And eventually I will get back into my gaming. But well, hey, not everybody has to like Penta. I happen to like him. I'm not Mexican, but respect to my Hispanic peoples. We need more of us in the business. Exactly. You always have voices in your head. So, you know, I just kind of thought that taking this time to talk to you guys, and I love the engagement in the chat. You guys are making me happy. I really didn't think I was going to go long with this live. I kind of almost wanted to just jump on and talk for a second, but then I got thinking about all this other shit that's been going on. And I feel like a lot of people don't talk about it. But I do want to talk about something that is near and dear to my heart. something that Dave and I talked about, which is obviously the Ride for Roswell. If you guys haven't gone to Dave's channel, go to Dave's_dimension, watch the video. It's only about 1.5 minutes long, but it gives you the key information for after our podcast on the Outer Dim podcast, which we will be doing on April the 25th. We will have Thanos Copter on the show, and we'll be talking about remade TV shows and having fun with that. It's going to be a short show. It'll be from 10:30 till midnight. And then about 12, we're going to take a 30-minute break to set up the other stream, to get the stream ready, to get any other guests ready. And then we're going to go and start the stream at 12:30 midnight, going through till Saturday morning and then going to Saturday evening. We've got a lot of great guests coming on. Dave and I are going to be doing coloring pages. Exactly. You got to definitely tune into our podcast. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And then we're going to jump into the actual live stream for 24 hours. Dave and I will be spearheading this, and then I will be dipping out for a little bit. Dave will be dipping on for then when because I have to sleep eventually. Dave's saying that he's not going to sleep. He's going to do this straight through. So bless his heart. I love him to death. I will need to nap because I have children, and I cannot not sleep, because if I don't, I can't. If I'm not functioning, my wife will be pissed. So I have to rest, and then I'll get back up and I'll be back active on the stream, probably sporadically throughout the day. But I do have several guests that will be coming on, and we will have prize wheels. So Dave and I, like I said, I'm going to show, where did I just put it? I swear here it goes. So obviously, like I said, Toyco will be shipping out the winner, this to the winner. I'll be letting Andrew know, and he will be shipping this out to whoever wins this figure. Now, to get on the wheel, you have to do a $10 donation. So if you do not do a $10 donation, you do not get entered in. But if you do donate a $10 donation, or as much as you would like to donate, our goal is to see at least $1,000. We're going to get there. I'm believing it. So if you can get on the wheels, this is one of the prizes. We will be trying to do a prize every few hours. You have to be in the chat when we call you out. You have to donate. Now, the way the donation is going to work is like this. You will go to IG, either to Dre the Geek Dad or to Dave_Dimensions. You will then give us a screenshot of your donation. If you do not provide us with the screenshot, no dice. Screenshot of your donation. It doesn't have to have, you can block out any personal information that we don't need to see. Just we need to see that you donated. Minimum $10. Then we need to get your IG name and your real name, because Dave, myself, Toyco, I have to provide the names so they can give you your prize. If you do not respond to us within 7 days after we've called it out on the stream, the prize will go to the next person that was on that wheel that lost. And that's how that will work. And if that person doesn't claim it, Dave and I will then do another wheel later on, and we will issue that prize out to somebody else. So be sure to be active, be sure to be mindful, and know what we're doing. Now, are there other prize wheels? Yes, the big one that everybody wants to know about is the hot toy. We have a Star Wars hot toy that will be auctioned off. Now, I shouldn't say auctioned. It'll be on the prize wheel. You donate, you get on that wheel, on all the wheels. Hey, maybe you lost the Tanjiro, but you get a chance at a hot toy. Maybe you didn't get the hot toy. Well, we have a figure box for Motu X Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I am donating 2 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures that are X Motu, brand new in their boxes. That's going to be donated. I am currently working with 2 different companies, Toyco's being one of them. The second one, unnamed until I hear back. They are going to, if they don't decide to donate a box to us, they themselves will donate a box, and I will let you know what that is at that time. Dave did say that we have a Motu mystery box. We have the Joe mystery box, and we have a few other boxes that will be we will put you on the wheel and you'll win. Now, if by some fluke you're like, hey, Dre, I don't care about the prize wheel, but I want to make a donation, feel free. You can do that. And what you can do is, if you know somebody in the community that maybe doesn't have the money, and really you would like to donate that to them, say, hey, I donated, but you can put this in my friend's name, we will accept that. Any way of you doing that would be awesome. And it just raises awareness. Now, what if you can't afford it? What if you're like, man, I can't afford it? I'm just make people aware. Tell them to come see Dave and Dre at Dave's Dimension on the live stream and just talk about it. You know, that's all we want. I've lost my mother, lost my aunt, lost my father-in-law. I get choked up. I apologize. I've lost a lot of good people to cancer, and I only know one person or two people that have survived it, my mother-in-law and my uncle. I've lost too many good people to this. And this disease does not give a shit who you are, what your age is. And Roswell, they're doing amazing work. And it is important to get awareness out there because you need to. We need to have that. And I say this with a very open heart that if y'all don't know what somebody's going through right now, and if they are with a diagnosis and they're dealing with it, you don't just be understanding because it is heavy. And I say this from a place of experience. So please, if you have the time, just say the words. Hey, man, Dre and Dave are doing something. If you want to come on and talk about your channel, you're free to do that. We want you guys to come out. This is a community event. So many people want to say they want to help in the community. And this is going to be, oh my God, it's going to be a hot take. And I'm sorry I'm saying this. It's semi-emotional, semi-angry, whatever. Stop saying you want to help. Just do it. Don't tell me you want to help us. Just do it. Come tell me and Dave. I've had so many great people I've reached out to. So many people have come to me from the community, from other people talking about it. And I love that. But don't say you want to help me and then don't. If you don't want to help us, I get it. I understand. This is too important to Dave and myself. And we say this because we have people in our lives fighting cancer, dealing with this illness. So please understand. It's not just that we're trying to do the fundraiser. It's that we're seeing we have people fighting this horrible illness, and we would love to see people just raise more awareness. It's passion, I say this with. So I hope you all understand that we want to give you guys a prize. Donate. Okay? That's all it takes. $10. A cup of Starbucks, a McDonald's meal, whatever fast food you're thinking of. It's even a tank of gas, that can help save someone's life. So I hope you understand with the passion why I say it like that. Again, I really do. Joseph, thank you for coming in here. I love you, man. But I want to thank Mirage. I want to thank Dave. I want to thank anybody that watches on the replay. I know that people have been popping in and out watching this and not saying anything. I thank you for the lurkers. I thank you for just, if you want to do that, Joseph, that'd be awesome. I'd appreciate you. I love you, Joseph. You could always message me on IG. We could, I can always give you the information for Dave. You can always mail them to Dave, and we can figure out how to get them like that. I'm very open to that. So if you want to donate that, that's way more than appreciate that. But I just want you guys to know that this is something very big for both of us. It's in a couple weeks. Hit us up. Let us know. Again, you know where I'm at on IG. You can always drop a comment here in the comment section. If you guys need more information, jump over to Dave's channel and just watch the video, Dave's _dimension, and you'll watch the video, and it gives you all the information on how to get in touch with Dave or myself. Okay? Again, stop worrying about ToyTube. Stop worrying about the toy community. Stop worrying about everything else. We got a lot of good things in the community, and the people that are here, toys are going to be toys. We'll still be able to get them. If you can't get them right now, who cares? The community's still there to enjoy it. All right? I just want to say thank you. And, God bless to everybody that we got that comes through. Joseph, prayers and prayers and well wishes to your lady before she comes home from the hospital. Mirage, thank you again. My brother from another mother, Dave. You know, uh, I appreciate you more than you ever know, brother. All right, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And again, as always, my friends, stay geeky. Catch you on the flip side. Peace.